Hello and welcome to Nobody Meets Somebody, the podcast where two comedians
who are currently nobody
meet somebody.
who is famous. My name is Mary Picarazzi.
And I'm Tanveer Arora.
In today's episode, we got to talk with Paul Varghese. He's been seen on Last Comic Standing 2 and Comedy Central's Live at Gotham. He's performed at a variety of cities, including Boston, LA, and San Francisco. Tanveer, are you excited?
I am super excited to talk to him. I've been wanting to talk to him for a long time now. I'm glad we're doing it on this podcast.
Fantastic. Let's waste no time. Let's talk with Paul. Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Timber.
Hey. Good.
All right. We are super looking forward to this interview.
Okay. I feel like you guys might have done too much research.
Well, we did a whopping 30 minutes, so that might be too much.
Yeah, I could have texted you everything you needed.
Well, we're waiting for mother's maiden name. That was for something totally different, though, so we're waiting for that.
Okay. That and your SSN and
yes. Your last pet, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
As always, we're going to ask questions out of my handy-dandy, sparkly, shiny hat. Tanveer, what are you doing?
Still sticking to this Pyrex cup.
We're still hoping Pyrex is going to sponsor us. So we have randomly questions thrown in here, and then we're just going to have some fun. Ready to get started?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I agree. You do? What was it? We're married. Me and Ken, we're married now. Is that cool?
All right. I am out.
You're out? You don't accept?
You don't accept?
No.
I arranged this, Tanveer. You're going to accept.
It's not allowed in my religion. That's the other one. That's the other one that looks like this, but we can do four.
Do you guys ever feel nervous when they do like the, when you send the emergency row at the on the airplane and they're like, you have to like nod, and I get nervous like nodding. But I don't know how to like. Do you like really nod? You don't want to seem too into it, but you don't want to seem like whatever.
Like you're super into it. Like I'll totally do it.
Let's go. When's it going down?
What's happening? Yeah. No, I don't even bother with that because I don't like people that much. So I'm like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just not going to have this conversation.
Okay.
I've done that once and I did not get a good response from that. So I don't sit in the emergency aisle anymore.
Okay. That's all. You don't sit or you're banned. They don't let you sit there. One of the two.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. Depends how it's all how you phrase it.
Tomato. Okay. So my first question out the gate is, what is something that you would recommend people do not do?
Something they would not do.
Something you do that you're like, you know what? People shouldn't do this.
Something that
besides comedy.
Something I do that people shouldn't do. Wow. You guys should have sent me this like an hour ago. Talk to your dog in a different voice. And the only reason I bring this up is because I find myself doing it in public to everybody's dog out loud. And even when I bring up stories about my dog, I do his voice that is supposed to be in private, but I do his voice in public. So I think
now you have to do the voice. You can't just not.
Yeah, we'll talk about the dog first. We have 58 more minutes. I do not accept. I do not. I refuse.
Why do you talk to people's dogs though? That's my question.
Well, I always thought when I first got my dog, I thought that everybody would always ask my dog, like, hey, so what's your name? And I was like, I would just stand there because I'm like, they're asking him. And then after like 4 or 5 times it got awkward, I had to be like, Zeno. I had to like do a little voice. And now I find myself doing that to other. Well, now I'm like, hey, so what's your name, little buddy? And I've become everything I hate. So.
Well, we're called projection. Yes.
Okay.
All right. By the way, I think that was my question. She stole it, but it's fine. Have you ever got in trouble for one of your jokes?
Have I gotten in trouble? Like what kind of trouble are we talking about?
Legal trouble, or someone hit you, or anything like? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten legal trouble. I've had people I had a girl run up on stage one time in Austin. There was a club, Cap City, that was there. I don't think it's there anymore, but yeah. And they this girl in the middle. I was doing this joke about Indian women, and she was in the front row. There's only about 12 people in the audience, and she ran up on stage. And, started yelling in my face, and I didn't really know at that point. You don't really know what to say back. You don't want to yell back because it's a girl. You don't know what's going to happen. And they didn't really. I had there's like 12 people in the audience, so they already cut the bouncer or the door guy. He already went home. I just stood there and took it until like she calmed down and walked off stage. Wow. And turned out to be a first date. It was a first date. The irony is, years later, I got a random Facebook message from her, and her and that guy got married, and I actually performed at their Sangeet, which
damn!
Wow.
So because I felt bad for so long, because I'm that guy, like when those things happen, I'm like, should I change that joke? Maybe I did something wrong. Why would somebody want to walk on stage and yell at me? But I guess it worked out in the end.
Wow. That's interesting. That's not how I thought that story was going to end.
I performed one time in Saudi, and in Saudi you cannot cuss or talk about religion, or about deities at least, because there's like a fine. They'll fine you. So like when you're told not to cuss, it's very hard to not cuss.
Right.
So they have like a guy standing at the edge of the stage, like
with a tape jar, and every time he cusses,
I think it was like $1,000 American dollars or something like that. I can't remember exactly. This was years ago. So it's hard not to cuss, even though I don't really cuss that much. But it's hard when they tell you not to. You know?
Right.
So
just see your bank account balance just go to the negative. You're like, damn it.
I mean, they should do that in general. We could eliminate so many comics if we did that.
That's true.
It'd be in beer. So.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
That's funny. Ooh, it's mine. Okay. So my next question is, worst heckler experience?
Oh, that kind of went hand.
Kind of worked out.
No, I've had worse. Okay, I'll tell you one that's funny and then one that's sad. I'll just start with the sad one first. It's really short, but I got called the N-word one time, and this was back in 2007, and the whole place, it was at a bar, and the whole place just kind of got quiet, and then it got awkward. So that's the worst one. But the funniest worst one.
Hold on. You got called that. What was your response back? What's your retort?
I didn't know. Like I wasn't in. So normally I respond depending on my mood. If I'm like in a bad mood or if I'm tipsy, I'll just kind of yell back and get angry. But if I'm in a great mood, I always I'm like, huh? Like I don't understand. Like they ruined my good day kind of thing. So I don't really remember what I said. I wasn't mad about it. I just couldn't believe he said it. And then people at the audience started yelling at him, and it was not a funny story. It's more sad than anything. But whatever. The best worst heckler story is for me was this guy. I don't even think he was heckling. I think I was actually heckling him. So he was in the front row. In hindsight, he was in the front row. And the only reason I remember up to this point, because after that, I just kind of I had drank too much, and I think like my hippocampus wasn't making memories, if that makes any sense. So this guy was in the front row with his wife or girlfriend, whatever, and he just wasn't laughing at anything. And I was like, I was mad that he wasn't. It's always in the front row, but for some reason I was really mad this guy wasn't doing it. So I just started yelling at him, like telling him to laugh and stuff, and he wasn't having it. And he got up and went to the bathroom, and I'm like still yelling at him while he's going to the bathroom. And then he doesn't come back for like 5 minutes. So rewind 2 hours before that, Tom Wilson he plays Biff Tannen in the Back to the Future movies. Okay.
Yes. And
he also does stand up. Well, he did do stand up for a while. He was doing the 9:00 show on that Saturday. I was doing the 11:00. But anyway, so this guy never comes back. So I start asking the girl, I'm like, hey, are you not going to go back? You know, are you not going to go? She's like, I came to see you. And the place starts wooing and cheering and shit. And the guy still doesn't come back. So then all of a sudden, Tom Wilson comes out of the back. I guess he'd been watching the show the whole time. He comes and he sits down next to her in the front row. Okay. This big dude. They don't know it's him. They just see this tall. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He just comes and sits down, and the place goes nuts. They're cheering because some dude just came and sat next to this newly single woman. And then he turns around and he goes, "Why don't y'all make like a tree and get out of here?" It's the loudest I've ever heard a place ever. They went ape shit. It's like right before they went ape shit, some guy goes, "Oh fuck, it's Biff," and the place went nuts. And then he bowed and he left, and then that's all I remember. Because then I took more shots afterwards. But like I always think about like that audience. I probably sent at least 5 members of that audience to sobriety, because how could they possibly explain to people the next day that Biff Tannen was randomly in Dallas? And because nobody knows he does stand up. So there's this, you got to get off the sauce, man. Biff Tannen really showed up. I think that's Heckler story I have.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Were you ever curious what happened to that guy? Like, did he die in the bathroom or like?
I don't know. I've pissed off so many people through so many open mics and shows. I have a feeling that they're all going to come back, kind of like like Avengers: Infinity War, their Endgame at the very end.
Yeah.
All the hecklers from my past all the hecklers and exes are going to come out together,
And then they'll just invite you to their wedding. Like that's what happens, right?
Exactly. They're all gonna come back and get revenge. It's gonna be like 30 of them, and then me and my dog on the opposite end. Okay.
You're like, hey, little buddy.
Exactly. So.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Next question. Do you speak Malayalam, and have you ever performed in that language? Have you ever been asked to perform?
Okay. Well, so should we tell Mario what Malayalam is?
No. I was so happy to get that question. No. I purposely gave you that question. I'm like, I am not about to say this in a way that I'm not going to get canceled. So
I don't even want to explain it to her now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's not explain to anybody else who's. Is this just for you two, or is this for other public consumption?
It's for the world, Paul. We said the world. We meant it.
Like how you just said, is this just for YouTube?
I will be speaking Spanish later. So screw both of y'all.
I do speak it. I don't speak it fluently. It takes me a while to I figure out what to say back. So I understand it, but I have to speak in Tarzan language back, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So just Mary, it's a language down Southwest India, and it sounds it sounds very angry, and it's not very concise. Like we don't have a word for hello, but we have a word for frying pan.
See, was that so hard, Tanvir? You want to be my co-host, Paul? Okay.
In my defense, you work at. You probably know what Malayalam is.
Yeah.
Come on, you have to.
Have you ever had that Indian coworker? You were like, "Oh my god, I thought you were black." That's your Malayali coworker. Like if they have a Bible name, if they have a name like Mike or Toby or Titus or Joseph, and you thought he was black, that's my people.
Nice. Nice. My problem is when I speak to Indian people, I start speaking Spanish because I feel like it just feels like the flow of it. So I start speaking more Spanish, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're right, you don't. You're right. I don't know why I feel like speaking Spanish to you all the time.
I have been asked to. I've been heckled by South Indian people to speak Malayalam during a show. But
wow!
Yeah, I'm like, hey, say it in your native tongue. I'm like, this is my native tongue, motherfucker. I'm born and raised here. I do. That's my second language,
You just say it more like a valley girl.
Well, that's the thing about it. It's one of those languages. Like my cousin tries to say it without. You have to put on the accent to say the words properly. And my cousin doesn't do it. She's born and raised here, and she won't put the accent on. So if I said, how are you doing, Mary? I'd say, "Endavi suvisesham" is what I would say.
Right.
My cousin, because she doesn't want to do the accent, she's like, "Endavi suvisesham." So it just she does that to my grandma. My grandma's like, who the fuck is this? So,
it's like Google Translate.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to do that accent regardless if you want to pull it off.
Nice.
So you ever had I'm pretty sure a lot of Indian people would have invited you to the Indian shows, right?
Yeah.
You have an Indian show story to share?
I don't. I mean, I do. I made most of my money doing those the last few years. So
they pay well. Yeah, they pay well.
Yeah, they pay very well, and it's a very limited group of comedians that they can.
How well? From. Could I pass?
I mean, there's a comma in almost all their payments, if that makes any sense.
I can learn me some. What was that language again? I can learn.
Frying pan. I can.
I will Duolingo the shit out of that.
How are you doing, frying pan?
What's up, frying pan? Yeah.
Hey, yeah, exactly. But no, I do a bunch of those. I don't. There's so many different weird ones, man. I've had. I've had them heckle. I've done them in the weirdest places. You have to get back to me on this one because nobody's ever asked me about those things. It's always been a quiet.
I feel like we should take this question out of context right now, which is what you just said.
Yeah.
I've done it in the weirdest places.
Start it with that. Just start.
It'll be fun editing this one. Yeah.
No, but they don't, so most of them don't really, if there's, everybody forgets that I think it's the hardest thing about being an Indian comedian is there's three different kinds of Indians. There's the older people that just moved here. Then there's the H1s that just moved here. They're around 30 and 40. And then there's the kids that are born and raised here. So there's not this blanket Indian material that works for all three groups.
So H1s that died. I'm sorry. That's really good.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
guilty.
Yeah, I mean, Bob is technically politically incorrect. I think, right?
I don't know anymore.
You know what
I don't know if calling somebody by their visa term is correct either.
I mean, it's,
citizen. Hey, you citizen? Citizen. H1? Citizen. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, you know what a fob is, though, right, Mary?
No.
Okay. So fob it's fresh off the boat, is what it means.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it's for anybody who basically, it's meant for Asians. Normally,
my people crossed the river. We're Mexican, so we just swam through. We don't have to have a boat involved at all, so it was much easier.
And I don't think it's offensive, but it's not up to me to decide what's offensive. It might be offensive to them. So H1 can't be offensive. You know?
No. Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Maybe it's offensive to H's.
Yeah. Like that. I mean, for American people, it's just like it's playing Battleship, right? That's what H1 is. H1 is.
Man, we're gonna get canceled. This is great. It's been nice. It's been great. All right, I'm gonna jump to my question just so we can sidestep this. What is something that you've always wanted to try and haven't done yet?
Always wanted to try and haven't done yet. I've always wanted to be in a game show, but I want to be like this. I want to be like this celebrity on the game. That's the only reason I want to be famous. But that, besides the money, I want to just be famous enough to be on the $25,000 pyramid. Is it? It might be $1 million now. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a small pyramid. It's $25,000.
$25,000 would be pretty shitty, but yeah.
It's the tiniest pyramid ever, but yeah.
But I want to be a celebrity on those kinds of shows.
Like Hollywood Squares, or do they still have that? I don't know.
No, I don't want to do that because that feels like they have writers for that. I want to be like, look, I like Password in those games, where you're like frying pan. You're like, hello, Malayalam. All right.
Man, if we had this behind a Patreon wall, frying pan would be the promo code. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay. Isn't Patreon technically like kind of right wing? I don't know. Isn't it?
It's money in my pocket. I don't want to hear it, Paul. So it's not Patreon, so I don't care. Spoiler alert, we're not that popular to have one, but thanks for ruining my dreams.
Okay. Please put this on
Patreon. Yeah. Somebody named Patreon's going to comment on this now.
I do have an OnlyFans account. Can we do that?
Oh my God.
No. All right. Okay. Wrong kind of audience. Oh, next question. All right. Speaking of OnlyFans, do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents.
Sorry.
I have no hidden talents. I have zero.
What? Everyone's got a hidden talent. Can you whistle?
Yeah, but that's not it. I can only whistle like 2 notes.
Okay, well, I can't even whistle.
I can make the face that looks like I'm hitting other notes, but I'm not really hitting other notes.
So you can't sing, you can't cook, you can't.
I mean, I can cook, but that's not a talent. I don't think cooking is a talent. Cooking is a necessary life skill.
Not in America, it's not.
Plenty
of people have survived without cooking.
I think my stand-up really is my only. If I had other talents, I think I would have tried to monetize them at this point.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
My only talent is stand-up. So.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm gonna edit that question out. That wasn't fun.
Sorry, she told me not to suck, and I'm already like shit.
You had one goal, Paul. One.
He should have saved that Malayalam question for like 6:59, dude.
I will edit it. I'll put it in the end. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. Ooh, this is a good one. Would you quit comedy for $20 million?
I thought you were about to stop right there. Like right before the money, I was like, yeah, no, she's still going. Okay. That means I can't perform or at all.
Yeah. Can't perform, can't write, nothing to do with comedy.
Wait, so somebody hates me this much, they want to pay me how much?
$20 million.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
It's not even a question. Like, yeah, done.
I couldn't believe you went on after you said the word quit. I thought you were like, would you quit comedy? I'm like, oh, there's a monetary amount involved? Okay.
I was already tweeting yes, so.
But yeah, I can't. If somebody hated me that much that they were offering me $20 million to shut up, yeah, totally. I will not say a word to anybody. I won't make anyone laugh for free anymore, dude. It'd be the most serious 20 millionaire ever.
I like how he didn't even question, like, how are they going to know? How are they going to check it? He's just like, fuck it, I'm done. You said 20 million? Wait till it clears. I'm good.
That's pretty honest. I would do it too. Yeah.
I mean, everybody would. I think everybody. I mean, minus like the people who make more than 20 million. I think everybody would.
Who are these people? Well,
you think the 60 millionaire people are like, fuck those 20 years, 20 million?
I wouldn't tell anybody why I got it or how I got it. What's the reason that I have all this money? But
I wouldn't tell people I had the money because that's where the problems start. you start getting all the cousins out of the woodwork, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got money now?"
Yeah. I would. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess if you don't see me ever performing again, it's not because I suck or got banned. It's because somebody paid me $20 million. How would we put it that way?
No, wouldn't it be more badass if you just told everybody you got banned from every single comedy club?
I'm working on that. Just using the payment. I'm working on it.
Gotcha.
Oh man. All right. So you performed in Saudi. What other countries you performed in, and had you performed in India? And what was that like?
Okay. I performed in Dubai. Is that a country? I mean, is it a country or city? I can never tell.
Whatever. Yeah.
One of those, right? And then I performed in Qatar.
Okay.
Or they say Qatar. I think we say Qatar to them. And then I performed in India. I did perform in India. India was the crowds were huge, but I don't think they really liked me. So I did a show I was performing with Gabriel Iglesias, and so they all came to see him, and they didn't really come to see me. So to them, I sound like I'm a completely Americanized sellout. I just happen to be brown kind of guy.
Did you feel the need to add an accent, like when you were talking, or?
Well, the weird thing is you realize after a while, like this is the accent to them. So I do like my dad's accent. It just sounds like I should actually probably have done my set through my dad.
Exactly. Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yes.
In hindsight, that probably would have worked because my South Indian accent is very authentic. It's dead on, but like that just sounds normal to them. And then this sounds like I'm doing a character almost.
Right.
So they didn't really, and the only reason I know they didn't really like me, it's not that they didn't boo, they clapped and stuff. But for when Gabriel was there, they were going, when he did an Indian accent, they went absolutely insane. They couldn't, he has this bit about an Indian guy robbing a bank.
I am talking to you.
And they request stuff, like they just yell it out, what they want to hear. And he does it and they go crazy. I'm like, I just did that accent. And you guys did nothing for me. And then because how does he know? I mean, it's not even, no offense to Gabriel, but it's not even a really good Indian accent. It's pretty generic Indian accent, but they lose their shit. Now, and to his credit, like his sound effects, any sound effects he did, like if he started a car, they would lose their shit.
Yeah. So maybe you should have added more sound effects.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, but I haven't been asked back in 8 years, so I think I'm talking about banned from comedy clubs, banned from the country.
That's crazy. I'm surprised. So, like, his Mexican material was actually killing over there.
Yeah, they love the joke they always quoted was he does this one about picking up his friend Martine in it the fat Martine, that thing. Yeah, they request that everywhere. That was in the Middle East too. They just scream it out. I know they have no idea what it means because they'll say like Martine, and then it's like a what do you call it? Like a singing response. Yeah, because he'll say Martine, and then all the Indian people are like orale, like they don't know what orale means.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
that is cool.
He was blown away by it because he was like, I gotta do this new stuff. I'm like, it doesn't matter over there. It doesn't matter. They just want to see the hits,
That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sorry that got my mind blown that's how that transpired. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like singing a song to them because it's so brand new. Like it's so, especially in India, in the Middle East, stand up is so brand new. It's maybe 10 years, if that. I don't even know if it's even 10 years.
10 sounds about right. Yeah.
That means I could kill when I go over.
Yeah. They love you. You're light skinned too. You're light skinned too. They love light skinned people.
Yeah, that'd be great. They will never see it coming. It'd be great.
You actually kind of, in this whatever filter, you look North Indian.
North Indian? What?
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a compliment.
That's a compliment. Xavier tells me I could never pass as anything but a white girl. Are you kidding me?
That's because I hang out with you a lot. That's why.
Being full Mexican, I will take anything I get that's not white. I will absolutely take it because I got all the scholarship money. So joke's on you.
I think the key to looking North Indian is to hang out with South Indians. That's the key.
That's the key.
So if you hang out with me, you will be like, oh yeah, this is my Punjabi cousin, Mary.
Sweet.
Everybody will totally believe it.
And I'll be Punjabi. That'd be phenomenal. Tanvir. Why didn't you tell me this?
Because I didn't want. No, I didn't know. No. I'm like cringing from inside right now. Like,
please say that you're North.
He doesnn't do well when I get compliments on the show at all.
I don't. Not on the show, just in general, just in life.
Oh, yes. It's fair.
Take her to your next Indian gig.
I could.
You don't have to
I feel like
just watch it.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like it's underground though. Like I'll never know that they're even booking for these Indian gigs, and all of a sudden I see him post. And I'm like, when did this happen? He's like, oh yeah, Underground Network. If everyone talk, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even have a chance.
I mean, they're hard because they're without them telling you it has to be G-rated. Can't cuss.
Oh yeah.
Can't be dirty. I mean, that's why I made so much money off it. I have this thing that specifically works for that older uncle and auntie H1 crowd.
That's
Some of it works on my regular audiences, but for the most part, there's like specific references that because you can't talk about dating to especially to older uncles and aunties, people like my parents' age, they never dated. You can't talk about drinking because they didn't drink. Can't talk about pop culture. That eliminates almost everything.
Right. Yeah. So no nothing sexual or anything of that aspect as well.
No, it's rare, and you have to be G-rated anyway. So you have to I kind of write from their perspective of what they think would be fun.
Right.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
That's a mistake I did in my first year of comedy. I got booked for an Indian gig, and I had this joke about how I hate Indians a lot, and the main reason I moved out of India was to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that didn't go well. They actually threw me out of the show. Like literally, they threw me out of the show.
Yeah, I've had the DJ come back on one time.
Okay.
Oh, during your set.
Okay.
Because there's no momentum there. They either like it or they don't like it, and if they don't like it, the worst they're gonna do is not laugh. But when they laugh, they like clap, and then it's on to the next joke. But you get no leeway. There's no momentum there. Like it's because most of these are for charity events. They're like there's some earthquake in Mumbai, and then you got to follow that slideshow of all these people under rubble. You're like, all right, now we have a comedian. I'm like, all right.
Oh my god.
Aren't who here is breathing? They don't have to.
Wasn't yours a convention, Tanvir?
Mine was a gas station owners convention. That itself was funny. Like, I actually do that joke now. Whenever I do that joke, I say I was invited to that and they threw me out. And that did not hurt me that much as the fact that no one at the gas station owners convention, not even a single person came up to me and said, thank you, come again. I hate that. I hate that group a lot now. And I see them at the temple, man. I see them every Sunday.
Oh, that sucks. That's like doing a cruise ship show on a Wednesday, and then you're stuck there till Sunday.
Right.
That's the worst, longest. Oh no.
Here's my Indian gig that was weird. Speaking of cruise ship, I performed for a Patel cruise. Like so, all the Patels were actually they all kind of really like it's like Kevin Bacon. It's like 1 degree Kevin Bacon with Patels. They all know each other. They all hang out together. It's a real thing. And they booked this cruise ship, and I performed for them. And same thing, but except it's parents and their kids, so it has to be completely G-rated.
Right.
And I'm doing fine for a while, and then I start doing jokes about Indian food. It turns out everybody there is vegetarian, and so my jokes about meat, like just ate shit. like nothing. And I didn't even know it was that. So when I got up, I was like, I don't know where I lost him. I was like, dude, you were talking about meat. They don't eat meat. Like they know meat. They know what a cow is, right? Like they can't just imagine what meat is like. And it was not even like I'm doing 30 minutes on like Gaffigan about bacon. I'm just mentioning it a few times, and then it just stays there. Dude, there's like they had the strict vegetarians. Like there's this I think it's Jane. There's a sect of Jane.
Yeah.
Like they won't eat things that touch the ground. Like it's like they won't
eat potatoes. They won't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything spicy because onions are too spicy because it'll make you angry and all this stuff. I'm like, did everybody eat onions before they came to the show? What the fuck happened?
Onions are amazing. I could not with that crowd now.
And I was stuck with that group for 3 other days. So.
And did you have to perform multiple days?
No, just that one day, and I was stuck on.
Dang it! Would you get looks? Like going through the corridors and stuff?
It's hard to tell. With Indian people, always have those looks anyway. We were we created the resting bitch face.
Tanvir, that explains so much.
That's a really good line.
We overly laugh, especially us with beard. Like everything is. It's really not that funny. Like me and Tanvir, we would never laugh if we saw each other stare at each other like it's chess.
Man. This is great. Okay, I wrote this question, and I'm pretty sure I was sober when I wrote it, but we're going to ask it anyway, okay? What fictional pet would you want?
Monkey, for sure.
Monkey
No,
cereal.
not monkey. Capybara. Capybara. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Is it type of monkey?
No, a quokka. Quokka, that is a quokka.
What's a quokka?
Quokka. It's the animal that smiles. Quokka.
Is it
Quokka.
fictional?
No idea what
Is it
that is.
fictional or is it a real animal?
It's a real animal. Quokka.
Well, you missed the point of the joke of the question because the question was, what fictional pet would you
Oh,
want?
a fictional animal. Oh, okay.
Well, we learned so much more about how we don't know how to spell this either.
No. Okay. Then a quokka butler. Does that work? One that will like make me breakfast and shit. Roller
Wow.
skates.
You have a fictional pet and it's now your slave?
Yeah, it's fictional. You don't enslave animals, right? No.
All pets are slaves, aren't they? Right?
I say that as my dog is on a leash. So
exactly, yeah.
I got cats.
He also has a zipper mask, so ignore that, okay? He's a double slave.
I can.
Quokka.
This is getting weird.
Somebody look up quokka. So I'm not crazy.
I just did, yeah. And I'm glad you spelled it KKA and you didn't include the third K. I'm so glad you did that. It's a cute animal, though. It is.
It smiles all the time. It looks fake. Yeah, that doesn't help.
Oh,
Does that help?
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I mean, it looks fictional.
Now imagine him in a tuxedo. That's my imaginary pet.
He's got a uniform and a job.
Huh?
A uniform and a job. That is 2/3 of more of what most comedians have. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
all right, it's your turn, Jim.
Okay.
Did it? This got silent. Wow.
Yeah, it did actually.
Right.
Indian food that you hate. What particular Indian food that you hate?
Okay. Well, this will get me canceled. I don't like North Indian food, which is pretty much every restaurant.
I'm out by guys.
I mean, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much every restaurant in America.
That's debatable. American restaurants, North Indian food it could be different. I'm going to defend my people here now. This one is like really.
Get more specific. That's a whole. Give me some specifics.
I don't like it. I definitely don't like any of the desserts. And that goes for North or South Indian. None of the Indian desserts are good.
Okay.
Like cold
I
feet.
can take that.
Yeah, and like gulab jamun and all that stuff. It's all garbage.
Right.
Indian breakfast tends to suck. We're good at lunch and dinner, but I don't like the appetizers. Like I don't like chaat. I'm not a fan of chaat.
Damn, I really thought I could be friends with you, Paul.
I mean, I'll do a samosa, but South Indians have samosas too, though. But we don't have chaat. My issue is like I'm very biased to coconut in my food. So
no Thai food as well?
Yeah, I love Thai food. I want coconut in my food. I feel like a lot
of you want coconut. Okay.
I feel like North Indian food doesn't have enough, if any.
True.
That's so if it had coconut, would that change your mind?
Yes, but they would never do that. They would be considered Southie.
That makes it South Indian.
Very interesting. Okay, that makes more sense to somebody who doesn't know the regions. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Worst date?
Jesus. Okay, I know. Okay, I know one that was pretty bad. It was a long time ago when I was just graduated college, and I didn't know what to do. So I had never like been on a date at that point ever.
Past college?
No, all the way up to that point, I'd never been on a date.
How old were you?
How old are you? Yeah.
I was at that point. I was 23. Still never been on a date. Okay, so I just do what I think you do. You go to dinner and a movie. Okay. So I guess this would be worst date. But so we went to dinner. I don't know where we went. I was stupid back then, so I thought like chain restaurants were. I don't remember where he went, but I definitely know it was a chain restaurant because we didn't have Google back then. So how was I going to fucking know?
Nothing wrong with a chain restaurant. Calm down.
on a first date, it's pretty bad. You can't do that to anybody now. But we went, and then we went to watch. This is how old it is. You know what year it was. We went to watch that movie. It was in theaters. It's called What Women Want. It's Mel Gibson.
Wow, before he was canceled.
Yeah, that's if you want to Google to see how old that was. So we went to see that, which is a terrible idea. So I didn't know because I didn't know anyway. So we went there, we saw that, and nothing happened after the date. So then this is back when because people had to give me advice, like, okay, so you got to wait like a couple days before you call, whatever. And so I called in a couple days and it hit voicemail. Okay. And I left a voicemail. And then in hindsight, I know all this now. I can't believe I existed like this.
No, but I'm just saying, okay, first of all, let's just clear the air here. Nothing you're saying sounds bad. I think it's a conversation you might have had because going to a restaurant and going to a rom-com is pretty standard.
Yeah, but understand that to me, this was one date is extended out until you get the second date. Okay. So like, meaning like I was waiting for her to call back. She never called back. And then like a couple days later, I called back again, left a voicemail, which is creepy. A little bit.
A little bit.
This is 2000 though. Remember this. Like we don't have, there's no blogs or anything to give you any etiquette. I didn't have an older brother to tell me shit. I'm all in my head. I'm just stuck with this. There's nothing to look up online. What's the proper, now kids have a mate. You're creepy now. That's on you. That means you have either shitty Wi-Fi connection or something. But back then I had nothing. I'm going to ask my dad for advice. My dad had an arranged marriage. You don't fucking know. So then I wait a couple more days and then I leave another message. Okay. Still haven't gotten anything. So that's already the worst date ever. 3 calls. So then I give it like 4 or 5 days. And then this is the voicemail. I left something to this effect on the voicemail. Hey, I don't even remember what the girl's name was, but let's say Mary. Hey, Mary, listen, I really don't think this is going to work out between us. Like, I left one of those. I'm going to give you the short version. I left like a 45-second thing. Yeah. So,
wow. So you asked to get with her.
In my head, there was already a relationship going on.
Okay. That I'm telling you, did anything during this date indicate that she was like, "Yo, bro"?
I mean, nothing happened. She didn't kiss me. She barely half. She did the half hug at the end.
Like conversation-wise, like was she interactive, or were you just talking at her?
I really don't remember because I was really shy back then. So I assume I didn't say anything. Or like, so how's your awesome blossom? I probably said something awkward like that or something.
She probably getting the voicemails. Oh, now he talks.
Exactly. I consider that whole thing a really bad first date.
I don't think anything's wrong with a chain restaurant on a first date. My first date with my husband now was on a chain restaurant and it caught fire. Okay. 11 years later.
Your heart or the chain restaurant?
Both. Okay. Most of the restaurant that was very smoky.
What was it?
What, Macaroni Grill?
Oh, okay.
Caught fire, and then they were like escorting people out, but we were in the bar area, and I'm like, I'm gonna finish my $12 meal.
Okay.
Yeah, and 11 years later, totally worked out, by the way. So don't be knocking the chains. I think it might have been the company.
I mean, I'm sure it was me. I mean, I know it was definitely me. I mean, she didn't say anything back. I always have a feeling that she's going to be at a show, but I don't even know what she looks like. I mean, this was 21 years ago.
I was going to ask, did you ever try to like?
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
You blocked it out.
Her name is in one of my first, because it was around the time I started doing stand-up. So her name and number are at the top of one of them somewhere.
Oh.
I should Facebook it. I should just go back and find it. And
now you're being the creeper. Okay.
Did you get my voicemail? I can't believe I did it. I can't believe nobody talked me up. It was hard before Google and the internet. It was hard to figure it out, dude.
Well, if you're watching this episode and you want to reach out to Paul, please do.
This is so much. Yeah, I got nothing here.
All right.
Did you guys ever answer these questions back?
If you're asked, yeah.
Can we change the name of this podcast? Making our guests feel like shit. Podcast.
We could do that.
What's your worst show on stage? What's the worst first date? What's the talent you don't want to show anybody? Can you do anything else besides comedy? If I gave you money, would you quit telling jokes? I'm like, who's this show?
There's not even. You're right. There's not even one positive question. There's all negative stuff here.
We might have been in a mood when we wrote this.
You think? I hope nobody's watching this.
There's at least 4 more people that I know that watch this.
Oh my god. We have 23 subscribers, Paul. 23 people watch this.
23? When did that happen? Yay!
I'm sorry. I am dying right now. Oh my god. I did not put this together.
Sorry?
Reach into your Pyrex cup. What's that? What's in there?
Oh yeah. This is not a negative one. This one's would you like to get into acting, or have you ever dabbled into it?
So when you quit stand-up, are you going to go into acting? That's what you basically. Since this shit's not working for you, you want to go into movies? You know? That's a logical jump.
That's exactly what was written. I just changed the wordings. Yeah, I did.
I've never gotten paid to act. I don't think I'm an actor. I think if I acted, I'd have to act based off how I do my stand-up. I don't think I could I don't think I could emote. Like I remember I took a theater class in college and she got mad at me. I failed this thing because it was this. She's trying to get me to. What happened if you won the lottery? Show me you're excited you won the lottery. And like, I wouldn't get excited. I'd be happy, but I can't channel this, Price is Right, jump in the air, screaming emotion that I made $1 million. I'd instantly be thinking like, okay, shit, I got to go pay this off. I got to pay this off. And she got so mad at me. She's like, wouldn't you be happy? I'm like, I'm happy, but I'm not going to like jump in the air. I don't jump in general. I've never been happy enough to jump in the air. Have you guys ever been happy enough to jump in the air?
I'm a giddy person normally, though, so I'm normally that kind of type happy. I'm that bubbly. I'm bubbly. Yeah, I will jump.
Have you heel kicked?
Like hop? No, I'm not. I'm not that flexible, but I can hop.
Okay.
Like I will, I will jump up and down and make tiny hops.
What happened?
It doesn't matter. Like I just get excited. I get excited if I might have big plans coming up, or I don't know. To Tanvir, I'm very weird because I'm highly happy.
Okay.
So I get that judgment. You know what, Paul? You know what? Screw this. I'm done.
See how it feels? The first 40 minutes of this conversation.
But I like to point it out, though. This was a pretty positive question, but you made it negative. Like you brought it up.
You're right. I would love to act if they would like to. I've auditioned for stuff, but I've never had anything.
Okay.
So I'm not opposed to it, but I wouldn't go out and seek it as a full thing because I don't. There's plenty of other better looking, better acting Indian guys than me. So
thank you.
All right, best gig you've ever done?
I used to open for Joan Rivers. So the last year she was alive, I did her last 4 shows.
Oh wow!
And that was awesome. She's great, and her crowds are great. And that was something that like was really cool. I mean, all of my favorite shows have been opening for big names because the crowds are awesome. But personally, by myself, I used to headline at I'm pointing like you're here. I used to headline a House of Blues down in Dallas a bunch with the big room, and that was personally for me that was a cool thing. But the theater shows are always awesome. They always just feel. Nice. It feels like you earned. It feels like all those shitty shows built up to that. So those are fun. I don't know when those are coming back. So
when you were with Joan, did you get any advice or ask advice?
I didn't ask. I mean, I'd been like at that point I'd already been doing it 12 years, so there's really nothing I can really ask her. She just it's the same thing. She would just talk about stories about stuff that she's been through, but like we didn't really talk a whole lot. She has like a whole lot of handlers around her. She has her hair lady, her makeup lady, her manager, her accountant, her attorney. Like, and she has this big entourage of people around her. But yeah, I've never been the asking for advice guy. I always felt like because I don't really like it normally, so I always try not to do it to other people. So
fair enough. You opened for Gary Gulman though, right? Sometime.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's good. I've known him I've known him for a long time. I haven't seen him in probably over 10 years, but he's good. We have our sense of humor is kind of the same in the sense of like what we think is funny is the same. But he was touring for that HBO special that he did. So we did like 3 shows with that, and his crowds are great. I mean, again, theater crowds are the best. Like they're focused, and it's very rarely a heckler situation. With Joan, it's awesome because she introduces you. She's off stage, but she introduces you. When they hear her voice, they go crazy. And when she introduces you, it kind of like it's like it gives you credibility kind of stuff. So they're all go ahead.
Oh, so that's always a good nod for somebody who's been in the game longer than you, and to be able to kind of give you that, like you said, it provides credence for the audience to be like, get prepared,
Yeah, because they spent their money not to see you, so whatever they can do to make it look like, I vouch for this guy. It always helps. So
yeah, that's cool.
Back to the negative stuff. Did we do this already? Did we ask you the worst gig? No, we did the Heckler. We didn't do a worst gig, did we?
No, mine was worse. I changed it to best so that he wouldn't.
Well, mine
it really was worse. Oh, that's so funny.
So we have 2 worst gig questions. All right.
I'm trying to think if worst gig and Heckler thing is no, that's not. Those are totally separate things, right? Okay, the worst gig I ever had. This is pretty easy. I was doing a show at Illinois State University, and it was kind of a lock-in for freshman students, so they didn't want them to like go out to the bars or whatever, and so they tried to keep them all like in the gym / student center area. and I performed in the gym, and it's like a regular gym, so the ceilings are really high, so it's echoey, and they can't really understand what you're saying. And halfway through, and like there's a DJ that was playing, and every now and then he'd pipe in through the speaker accidentally. And so kind of like that. They're all sitting in folding chairs, and they're 18, so they can't really, like, if they can't understand you, they'll tell you, "We can't hear you. What are you saying?" Like they're stupid, because they're 12 bit. They're first time out of the house. And I let all that slide, and then halfway through, like, this kid leaves, and he opens the door. He comes back, and he goes, "Hey guys, there's a Build-A-Bear workshop next door," and the whole place left. Okay, so they left.
Oh my gosh!
And there's like two people there, which are like the event coordinators, and I'm like just standing there. I'm like, wow. I'm like, "Can I go?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, you're supposed to be here till midnight." It was like 11:20 or something. I'm like, "There's nobody here." I'm like, "I'll go get them." So one of them comes in. So they all come back in, clutching these bears. About 5 minutes later, and then I do some more time, and they're not listening because they're all like showing each other's bears off. And I get off like at 11:45, and then the actual adult who's in charge refuses to give me my money because I didn't go until midnight.
Damn.
Big
wow
about that, and so
that's sucky.
Yeah, because at that point it's like, and this was like this is probably either the year before or the year after or the year during that I was opening for Joan Rivers.
Oh wow!
What a juxtaposition of it. Yeah,
exactly. So it makes those theater shows even better when that shit happens. So
like, where are you now, fuckers? My question is, what was your last non-comedy job forever ago?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, I did temp work in an office, but I don't really consider that because I only made it like 3 weeks. I worked retail before I did stand-up. I sold music. This is how old it was. This is 2000.
Like Sam Ash, what is it?
I sold, you guys have Tower Records down there?
No.
How did I know of? Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I did that was 2000. So was that right? And I loved it because I love music. Like I'm a music nerd, but like I realized the downfall of us. We were selling, in hindsight, I realized this. We were selling blank CDs, like blank media to burn music on. This is back when Napster had kicked in.
Yeah.
And there's like the guy in charge of like, sales for the rock section and the hip hop section. And they put me in charge of blank media. And and they would always get mad at me. It's like, you didn't reorder all this stuff. I'm like, why are we selling them shit so they don't ever have to come here again? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
They didn't understand it. In their heads, they're like, CDs will last forever and blah, blah, blah. Vinyl is so corny and DVDs will last forever. I'm like, motherfucker, we're giving them blank DVDs and blank CDs to bootleg our shit and never and then return it and then never come back. Why are we doing this? I'm helping you out by not ordering it. And that was.
Do you play an instrument?
No. I wish.
So close. I was trying to find a hidden talent.
Even if I did, I would suck at it. I mean, I know where to put my hands on the piano, but I can't fucking.
Well, that's good. That's a start.
It does take time, Paul. Yes, that is true. It does take time to learn an instrument.
I know, but
you're like, I don't know why I don't know the xylophone. Yes, it takes time. But I mean, some people, so most comedians usually go into music because they play music, especially you went to UNT, which is a huge music school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, they've got practice rooms like the size of pretty much every room in my house. Like, it's ridiculous.
But I didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, I never had any. This is the first thing I ever did that I felt like, oh, okay, I have talent. I'm good at this. I never felt like I was good at anything else. So maybe if I had like gone through the gamut, maybe I'm a soccer player and I don't even know it, or was. It's too late.
Like, I'm past my prime soccer player.
like you remember you see those parents, you've had friends who are parents who just like throw every ball at their kid just to see what they'll do.
What sticks.
Like my parents never did that. So I had Tinker Toys. You know what Tinker Toys are?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't teach you any life skills at all. It's a stick in a circle. Yeah.
I purposely do not give my kid any ball to get. I don't want her to do a soccer because you know how many fucking soccer games there are. They're completely in the morning. I have to get up in the morning. No. This is not convenient for my schedule.
Yeah, you need to find a night sport like bowling. Look at my kids.
What's better than going to a smoking bowling alley? Come on, let's go there. That's where mom wants to go.
Now I'm sure I have. I'm sure because I'm sure if they gave me voice lessons as a kid, I'd be a good singer. Because when you're a little kid, you don't know any better. You just
true.
do that.
Everything you're saying is like if they gave me lessons. Well, if you had lessons in anything, you would be better at it.
Exactly. I think they didn't give me. I don't even know how to swim, Mary.
I don't either. Do you know how to ride a bike?
I think.
I ride a bike.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't ridden a bike in forever, though. They say like it's just riding a bike. I haven't ridden a bike in a long time. I had no reason to ride a bike in a long time.
I do not know how to swim, and I'm from the coast. I do not know how to ride a bike. If my life depends on me riding a bike, something's gone horribly wrong.
Okay.
So
that's right.
Yeah. Don't know how to whistle.
Okay.
So I've survived 38 years without doing any of that. So
yeah, don't put. That's what you do to San Antonio. Get away from the water. You know, river walk. Exactly. You can wade in the river, right?
Well, you probably shouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, just stay away from situations that involve bikes and your kids running more than 10 feet away.
Yeah, that's what leashes are for, right?
Yeah.
So, are you going to talk about your awesome dog, or are we even going to see the awesome dog?
I mean, he's in the other room. He wouldn't jump up on here. He's very averse to Zoom. He doesn't like Zoom.
Oh, so he's a mini you.
I mean, we had to pay him for that.
I mean, I would show you a picture. Oh, let's say here he comes. Let's see if we can get him.
Oh, he heard me.
There you go.
And right back out. Harding.
He's all peace out.
Here we go. Let's see this one. Let's see.
I like that is simple.
We got two of them. Let's see if we can get this one.
Oh.
Here we are. There's one of them. And she's already like, I don't care. I want to leave.
What's your name?
Morning. Yeah. See, yesterday. I know. Time to get out. I know. There we go. See, there's one of them.
That's awesome.
The other one's hiding. He's hiding. So
at least you learned for the first one. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. This is the first pet we've ever had on the show. So there you are.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
So, cool. All right. So our last question we ask every guest: when someone Googles your name, what do you want your autocomplete to be? Paul Varghese.
Oh Jesus. That's a good one.
Finally.
Nailed it.
Oh, jeez. Okay. No. I don't. Sincere, sweet, and funny. That would be nice. That's all I care about. Honestly, can't really do anything else.
That's awesome.
I mean, I would love Paul Varghese net worth. That's when you don't want stuff.
$20 million.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I don't. I learned about a decade in that it was really the only thing you can't control stand-up wise is how funny you are and how people see you off stage or deal with you, because everything else is just kind of like a roll of the dice as to who makes it. So I kind of like it got me a lot more peace when I realized all I have to do is just write good jokes and be nice to people, and that's all I can control. So it's frustrating at times, but it's a lot easier than thinking like, what else am I doing? Why am I not making it? Why am I not doing this? When you realize that it's really not anything having to do with you for the most part, So,
but it's hard to be nice to people. That's the real talent, though.
Okay, yeah, that's my hidden talent. Maybe it's my hidden talent. I like talking to people. Maybe that's my hidden talent.
There you go.
Hey, that's becoming rare and rare. So that could actually be 100% a talent, because some people don't.
Did you just point up? Did you just Brady Bunch? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I Brady Bunched it. Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Like.
I'll get there.
Oh man, I should not leave him in charge of the editing on this.
Y'all know I can just edit this out. Yeah, exactly. So I was also actually, from now on to like at least a month, I'm gonna Google Paul Varghese voicemail every single day. So that starts popping up.
Oh my god, that would be phenomenal.
I hope she was petty enough to keep it.
Oh man, it's gonna be your Alec Baldwin tape,
20 years later, dude. Oh, okay, all right. I just already had I had a flashback. I was like, oh, I remember exactly how I was sitting in the room too. I had to hype myself up. I was like, I shouldn't do this. Did
you listen to music beforehand? What were you listening to?
No, I was just rocking like a autistic kid. I was like, I wasn't jamming out to anything. I was like, that was God telling me, don't do this. Don't do this. I was like, no, I got to do it. I have to end this. It's going nowhere.
Well, on that phenomenal note, we are going to end our episode. We really appreciate you, Paul, taking the time today to join us. And we look forward to seeing all your awesome career take off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Holy shit. We got to do something about those questions. And I didn't know we were such negative people, but
we were in a mood. We were in a mood.
It's okay. No, Paul's luck. That's Paul's luck. But hey, if that girl is out there and you have that voicemail, I'll pay you. I'll pay you $20 for it. I want that voicemail.
We will definitely take it. Yes, we'll make a meme out of it. Well, that is definitely our show for this week. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe down below. And if you really, really, really liked it, please share it with your friends, family, and enemies. Till next time, I'm Mary Piccarazzi.
And I'm Tanveer Arora.